Okay, fabulous. Thank you so much, guys, again for being here with me tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time to spend your evening with me. This is the moon celebration for the new moon in Sagittarius in December. And my name is Professor Kalsee Kohs, and I am doing this with Divination Academy. I have a little bit of housekeeping to go over here first with you guys. I'll do it really, really quick. I've shortened it down because I'm tired of it taking so long. So I'm going to pop 3 links in the chat there for you to take a peek at if you're new to us and if you haven't been with us before. What we are is Divination Academy. We're a free pagan online academy. We believe that education should be free and accessible to all, and that's what we offer. So everything that we do here is free. We will never ask you for anything or anything like that, and everything that we offer is always free for you. And we have lots of different topics that we teach and lots of different professors and resources available to you. You can see all of those on our website, which is that first link. On our YouTube page is where you can see most of our classes. They get recorded and they get put up there. It's not immediately, it does take a little bit of time because our director reviews every single one of our classes before it gets posted, but it does end up there. I think right now we have 140, so we have a bunch that you can watch on a lot of really cool topics. So take a look at that. And then the Facebook page, if you aren't a student with us already, like you haven't sent us a message and gotten enrolled and you're not in our private community, you're not part of our Facebook Messenger group, definitely send us a message to get enrolled so you can get access to all that. Plus you get access to your professors pretty much all the time. Students have access to me pretty much whenever they want. Sometimes it may take me a day or two to respond, but it's super cool. So definitely send us a message there saying that you want to enroll if you like what you see here or any other classes that you've taken with us. The last thing that I always do for housekeeping here, if you haven't been with me here before, is just a little bit about myself. So again, my name is Professor Kalsee Kohs. I'm in central Minnesota. I have been a solitary practitioner my entire time I've been practicing. I've been practicing for about 15 plus years. Prior to that, I was a Christian missionary for a good portion of my life. So I've been all over the place when it comes to spirituality and religion. Now I classify myself as a mystic and I class myself as a crave witch practitioner. So everything that I do comes from both spectrums. I view everything very energetically. I'm also very folk-based and ritualistic based. You'll feel that and you'll see that in my circle tonight when I cast. I hope you enjoyed if you haven't been here with me before. It is a little bit different. So I really, really hope you enjoy it. So what we'll do here is if you haven't been with me before, and I think there's might be one name I don't recognize. So that's why I keep saying that. If I'm wrong, you can totally correct me in the chat and I won't keep saying that. I don't always see every name that pops up in every one of my classes. I try really hard to, but sometimes I miss it. So if you haven't been with me before, what we do is I always teach you about the moon first, and then I do the circle, then we do our work, and then I close the circle, and we head on our way to go do our own practices that we want to do for the next couple of days. So if you haven't gotten the study guide, you can put in the chat that you haven't gotten it, and I'll send you the link again. If you do have the study guide already, I will jump into that for you guys. Unless anybody has anything they want to say or comment on at all about this moon, Sagittarius New Moon, we're also in the 12/12 portal, which I'll talk about too. And then, in case you didn't notice and didn't know this already, we hit Mercury retrograde again tonight. Mercury retrograde kicks in again tonight. So we will be in that again. So we've got lots of energy going on again tonight. So if anybody wants to say anything, you totally can. Otherwise, we'll get going. And if I'm talking too fast, please tell me to slow down. I'm notorious for doing that. I'm trying to be very intentional about slowing down. So if you need to yell at me, go for it. I will take it. Okay, I'm going to jump in the study guide and we'll get going. I'm not going to do a ton about the new moon because I have taught the new moon quite a few times in super detail because I do it every single new moon. But the basics for the new moon is a time to reflect and cleanse your energy. It's a time to set your intentions and everything that you wish to attract this lunar cycle. But also remember, and this is a key part I teach every time, setting an intention also requires action and energy from your part as well. Setting an intention is not just saying an intention, saying an affirmation, saying a mantra, letting it go to the universe, and that intention has been set. Like, it requires action afterwards, it requires energy. This intention setting helps make sure that you move that action, you move that energy, and you are able to fulfill that. So I always reiterate that it's not just as simple as I will get a job. That's all you say, that's all you do, and then that's what's going to happen. You have to have that energy behind that, and it requires the action to come from that energy afterwards. If you don't follow that energy, and that action of that energy requires that it calls for you to do, that intention will never come to fruition. The new moon energy is super important for supporting what you want to manifest. It's a time to allow new ideas and energy to flow with you. It's a time to honor new beginnings and turning over a cycle. I really look at the new moon as when you're planting your seeds for your intentions for that entire lunar cycle. So it's also a time to rest and reflect while you are planting those seeds, while you're thinking of those intentions. That rest and that reflection is super important. So make sure that you don't forget that part. You don't put that part to the side. Everybody, I feel that I shouldn't say everybody. I find it very common, and I myself do it at times as well. To I get so invested in the new energy and the new beginning energies of the new moon, I forget that I need to take a breath and I need to relax. And I need to sit in that energy. So just don't forget that part as well. When it comes to the moon and why we honor in general, we have been doing it for centuries, probably since all of humankind. I can probably say that the moon has played a super significant role in many different cultures, religions, all over the place. It moves through the zodiac, which you see across many different religions in many different forms, many different cultures. It moves through the zodiac and the 12 signs in about 28 days. So like the moon's just super important. Also, when it comes to agriculture, it was very significant for us for planting at that time. It was how we were able to keep time. Like there's just the moon is very significant to us. It always also like chemically and biologically affects our bodies. So when you get in touch with that and you start to harness that new moon, that full moon, and honor those cycles, realize the energy that it's in and manipulate that and put it in part of your life, you see a massive change and difference in growth. You see your physical health start to get a little bit better as well in some areas, and you start to feel a lot more of oneness and wholeness. This is like my first recommendation for anybody who's on this path or ever feels disconnected from their path or their magic or is struggling with self-confidence with their intuition or anything like that. The first thing that I always say that will make the biggest difference is try to be as intentional as you possibly can to honor the moon for an entire year. Every single, at least new moon and full moon change, honor it for an entire year and just watch the change that happens for you. It is absolutely phenomenal across all boards. In the study guide, I've got lots of really detailed basic ways to honor a new moon. I'll run through them really quick for you so you hear them. So making sure you're setting intentions, starting something new. You can also do a cacao ceremony for manifesting if you haven't worked with cacao before. Definitely do some research on it to see if something you want to work with. I love working with cacao. It's something that I've only recently started doing in the last year since I met a new spiritual teacher of mine. And I love it. It's phenomenal what it can do. It really helps you focus the energy and helps it amplify it and helps with that support. So definitely take a look at that if you haven't before. Doing a new moon candle manifesting ritual. I think this is incredibly common for people to do. People like to work with candles, especially on the new moon. Make sure that you're anointing your candle ahead of time. I always recommend that. Make sure you're cleansing and charging them as well. You can also do scripting. If you don't know what that is, it's a type of manifestation technique to where you pretty much like reach out to the universe and you just write whatever the universe is telling you to write and that's coming to your hand. It's not like there's no pressure. It's literally just whatever is coming to you. It's letting the universe speak through you. Typically there's, a phrase or a prayer that you'll say ahead of time. And I have an example in the study guide for you. You can also make a crystal grid. They can be as simple or as intricate as you want. They can include 3 crystals. They can include 100. And they can all have, depending on what crystals you use, they'll bring in certain things for you to help manifest. So always look at what the meanings of those crystals are and how they're going to interact with each other. I have details in the study guide for you on that. You can make a manifestation box. You can make a vision board or goal board. I hate the term vision board. I just use it because that's what most people use. Because vision to me doesn't require and call to action, whereas a goal board requires and calls to action. So that's why I like that word better. But so you can do one of either one of those. A manifestation jar, if you've never done one of those, they are phenomenal. I've taught them at a couple moon ceremonies, so you can go back and watch them. I can't remember specifically which months I did them. I taught them. I'll have to go double check that myself as well. But manifestation jars are amazing. What they can do for you. The one that I did for last year, for this new year for me, because I already reset my new year. I reset it on Samhain. So I already reset that for me. But the one I made for last year, it manifested above and beyond anything that I could have asked for. What that power that brought to me, I can't even. It actually makes me very emotional when I think about it. And I love them because that entire manifestation, that entire energy, that entire intention, and everything you put into that jar, you get it sealed in there, it gets locked in there, and it stays with you throughout that month, that lunar cycle, however long time frame that you leave it sealed. And that's why I love those, and they're so potent and powerful. You can also on the new moon always do a bay leaf manifestation ritual. I love using bay leaves on the new moon. I usually use an entire container almost every single time. In the winter, when it's in the spring, I take a whole plant out of my garden. But they're amazing. You can write down things that you want to manifest them, and making sure you're focusing your intention and then burning them. Plus they actually smell pretty nice when they burn, which is kind of great. You can also try the 369 manifestation method. I broke that down in the study guide on how to do that. Make sure that you make your new moon water. I have an entire separate study guide on how to make moon water and everything about moon water. It's linked in this study guide for you if you need information about that. You can also attend a new moon circle or ritual like you are tonight, and then do some tarot readings if you work with tarot, any type of divination. This is a great time to be able to do that. So make sure that you're doing that. If you want to work with crystals, I have some that are in the new moon in the study guide for you. Some common ones that work are going to be rose quartz, moonstone, and selenite. Those are great for things. Also, using cinnamon with the new moon is fantastic. It calls in abundance and so many other things. I'm going to jump back to this chat for a second, just to make sure I haven't missed anything. Doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like anybody's telling me to slow down either, so good. Hopefully I'm being slow there. Okay, when it comes to new moon journal prompts, I have a ton in here for you. A lot of them are going to be focusing on intentions, going to be focused on what you want to manifest, focus on areas of your life that you want to change. I have a bunch of different journal prompts in there for you to work through with the new moon. Like I said, most of it's going to be about what you are looking for, what you are looking to accomplish. Like I said, your intentions, your goals, your dreams, things you need to change, growth, things like that. Okay, we're going to jump into Sagittarius now. I think that's enough with the new moon. Like I said, I've done the new moon every single time. I do kind of a rundown like that. And then the first one, Virgo, I did super, super detailed about the new moon. So you can go watch that if you need more. Otherwise, you can always come to my ceremonies every time. I teach them every time. Okay, so Sagittarius. I both love and hate this energy. I love this energy so much because it really brings you into your emotions and your dreams, and it's all about broadening horizons, and it's a very happy, it's a very optimistic energy. It's just very, very fun, very spontaneous, very adventurous. And that's where I kind of get the hate myself personally. If you've been to some of my classes before, I've talked about I have OCD. So like for me, I like to try to like step outside. It's really, really hard for me, but I love it at the same time because it's really, really challenging. So that's what's great about this Sagittarius moon. And that's what I love about it. So each new moon obviously has its own unique magic within it based on the sign that it's in. When a new moon is in Sagittarius, this is like an explosion of exploration energy. Like this is like an explosion of wanting to start new things, looking for those new intentions, looking for those new projects, looking for expanding your knowledge, expanding your travel, expanding your spiritual awakening, expanding your higher learning. because it's in a new moon, which already does that. And then that's what Sagittarius really harnesses and really represents. Sagittarius is that very adventurous, very optimistic. They're just always wanting to play. They're always wanting to continuously experience change. They're always wanting to continuously be learning things, be challenged, but they do it in just a very like lighthearted way, in a lighthearted manner. They always want to be stimulated. Like the energy is always, they love stimulation. That energy loves stimulation. It's a very excitable energy. It's a fire sign as well, which makes it, about communication, action, passion, like things go quick with it. It's also mutable, which again makes it, likes change. They like change often. Like they like change often. And it's usually because of being mutable, directly related to the season that it's in. So it really does kind of encompass that season aspect, that change, that transformation, the new beginnings, the new ideas, the new exploration, all the adventure and optimism that comes with that time of year heading into the new year. This energy, like I said before, it's super, super adventurous. It doesn't like to be tied down. It likes to wander. It likes to come up with new grand ideas. This energy is very, very positive. It's very, very, very happy. It also is very, very creative. It will open up for that teaching, that learning, that writing, the speaking, your marketing, you mentoring and wanting to help others. Like it wants to do it, but just not in a serious way, a fun, enthusiastic, excited way. Always looking at things from the bright side kind of way. Sagittarius also rules over space. So that's also part of it as well. They like to crave more freedom and more independence, and that energy is very much about its space around itself, which is why it's so adventurous. That's like the best word I have for Sagittarius all the time is how adventurous it is. Another thing when it comes to Sagittarius is it's connected to the centaur, which is one of its actually main symbol it's tied to, as well as the arrow. And almost always, if you notice, like the arrow is pulled back, but it's never actually like pointed to a specific direction. It's just to go. It's just to shoot off and just go. But when it's being attached to the centaur, it's amazing because that's a symbolism that was from Greek mythology. It's, upper body of a human man, the lower body including, sometimes it's a horse, sometimes it's almost always it's a horse, with four hooves. I've seen centaurs sometimes different, but those are very different, not Greek. So I'm actually gonna take that out of that. They're very boisterous, they're very wild, they're very loud creatures. And they're all about like nature and but they control their territory. They're also mostly known as like wise men and healers, usually. When it comes to centaurs, it's usually like the representation that you'll see with them. And so that centaurs as themselves, it's great because it's a balance between that passionate, wild, animalistic, soul-searching nature and the purpose-driven nature of humans. It symbolizes, that warrior that has that purpose. They're driven. They know what they're doing. They know where they're going. They have those power attributes. And then that wild nature, that creature, that centaur have. So it representing that is just, it's amazing. That's the energy that you're going to feel. Like you're going to get access to that. It helps you with going on an endless journey where there's absolutely no destination. You're going to gather infinite knowledge in that process, but you're going to make sure that you have a goal that you eventually will end up accomplishing, because you are going to have some type of purpose. So that's what a lot of what this energy is about. It's a super, super powerful time, like I said, to learn new skills. A great time for traveling if you love to travel. If you like to teach, now would be a time to kind of start new programs and things like that. When it comes to shadow work in this energy, the shadow prompts that I have written for you guys that are in the study guide, they really focus on your desires, your true dreams, where you want to go and search to, because that adventurous, that wandering spirit, that ever searching, looking for knowledge, it's all about your highest dreams and what you want to accomplish. So most of these shadow work prompts are going to be like, what are my biggest dreams and how can I get there? Also, what are the values and principles that you want your life to align with in order to live your dreams? Because that's still going to matter. you're still going to want those values and those principles to be able to live your dreams. So your dream should align with what your values and principles are. You have other prompts talking about how exploring yourself and your life and your world around you and how you can do that better. How are you being restrictive and excessive in your life that ends up actually hindering your dreams? Because you need to look at that shadow part of yourself and understand what's hindering you from actually moving to your dreams and making those happen. When it comes to correspondences with Sagittarius, if you haven't been with me before, what a correspondence is, real, like in the simplest terms broken down, it is a symbol, an object, a thing to be able to energetically represent or connect you to something else, whether it's an energy, whether it's an entity, whether it's a deity, whether like if it's a planet, whether it's, you know, to connect you to whatever it is that you were trying to connect to. It's a way to represent and create an energetic connection. That's what a correspondence is, and that's the purpose of a correspondence. So some crystals that are going to be specifically for Sagittarius, you're going to look at citrine, topaz, lapis lazuli, amethyst, blue lace agate, labradorite, clear quartz. A lot of the more lighter ones, a lot of the ones that are more attached to blue, because that is a color that represents Sagittarius, as well as like a plum and a purple as well. Any stones that attach to those. You're also going to be looking at the element of fire for a correspondence. When it comes to planet, it's attached to Jupiter. Cards for the tarot are going to be Temperance. Temperance is the main one I see. I've also seen King of Wands and the Queen of Pentacles. For flowers, you're going to see carnations, foxtail lily, and berried plants. When it comes to numbers, it's going to be 3 and 4. Animals are going to be the lion, the centaur, and the mare. For symbols, you have the archer, the arrow, and the centaur. When it comes to incense, anything that's of more fruity or floral scent. I haven't found anything else that's very, very much more specific for Sagittarius. There's not anything that hasn't worked. Really anything that's got more of a fruity or floral scent to it for incense. And then deities, you have Apollo, Artemis, and Diana, and then any god or goddess of the hunt. Also, the archetype it represents is going to be the explorer, the cosmic seeker, the earthbound adventurer, and the archer. So those are the correspondences that you can use to connect to this energy. Some specific new moon rituals to do for Sagittarius. So this is going to be more specific to Sagittarius, not just the new moon in general, is making a positivity or dream list. That's actually what we're going to do tonight. We're actually going to do a dream list tonight. Practicing visualization, planning the next trip that you want to go if you're getting a bug of wanderlust, learning something brand new you've never learned before, a brand new topic, a brand new skill, a brand new hobby. This is a great time to cast a cord cutting spell, and then also exploring any new place. And then scrying specifically with mirrors right now is fabulous. Specifically, if you know mirror scrying, mirror divination, mirror work, this is a great, great time for that. In that Sagittarius energy. When you're working on intentions in Sagittarius, make sure you're focusing on expansion, freedom, education, travel, adventure, optimism, honesty, exploration, ambition, your challenges, your dreams. That's what you're going to want to focus on with your intentions, as well as any of your tarot card spreads or anything that else that you're going to be doing. So the other energy that you guys also have that you're working with tonight is the 12-12 portal. If you don't know what that is, I am going to run that down really quick for you, just so that you have an idea of what it is. So for a lot of reasons, the 12-12 portal is actually super, super significant. The main reason is numerology wise. 12-12 is a very, very powerful combination, and it connects to a specific Stargate portal. And the Stargate portal that it connects to actually opens up the first chamber in the 3-3 frequency, which is a multi-dimensional Stargate. It's one that helps us be able to connect to our higher self the easiest, for spiritual awakening, for expansion, for letting go of our physical ego, and connecting to that spiritual one and that connectedness and that oneness. And with it being the first, like it opens up that first chamber and then it's multiplied 12, 3 by 4. So it's really, really, really powerful. Also, there's so many other significance. There's so many different combinations of powerful numerological numbers in there. This 12-12 portal, like I said, it is spiritual awakening. It is connect to your multiple dimensional purpose. And it's great for manifesting the new year because you are connecting to your higher self when you're connected to that portal while you're manifesting your intentions this close to the new year. It's just how much power it is. Like, it is breaking it down that simple is, it sounds so simple to me when I say that, but like, it's a lot of power that's going on right now at that 1212 portal. So if you have a chance to do any type of manifestation, like after we're done, I would recommend doing that. But what we do tonight should also help because it is a dream. We're going to be focusing on dreams. So I'm going to jump in the chat just to see if you guys have any questions. I'll give you guys a little bit of information about what we're going to be doing here next with the ritual and the work, and then we'll get going with that part. So if anybody has any questions, you can put in the chat or mute yourself. Otherwise, we'll do the next part. Okay, I'll just jump in back in. Okay, so what we're doing tonight, and I have information in the study guide if you want really detailed information about it, is I had put in the community and I had sent a message. If you guys didn't see it, that's totally fine. But to have a candle with you and something to write with. Because we're gonna do fire gazing while I'm having you guys do your dream intentions. So I'm gonna have you guys use that as a focus point for your meditation. To help connect to the element of fire that Sagittarius is bringing to you, to help connect to that optimism, to help connect to that adventurism, to help connect to that dream energy. And so I'm gonna have you guys doing that while we're doing that dream list and writing out those intentions and those manifestations. I'm gonna have that going on at the same time while I'm having those shadow prompts come through for you guys, and I'm having you guys in your meditative state and walking you through that. If you've never done fire gazing before, it's really actually pretty simple, and it's really powerful. And I really like doing it during this time close to the new year as well, and especially with this moon, just because it brings a lot of clarity when you're fire gazing. It's like meditating, but more intensely. That's the most basic way to put it, because when you harness and focus your energy solely on that flame, which is really what you're going to be doing, it allows you to separate from that physical body more, to be able to be fully harnessed in that meditative state and to be present while you're fully there. It just amplifies that for you, and it amplifies the concentration, and then that fire energy as well. It's just what that manifests with that passion and what it ignites and what it brings into you for your creativity and to make your energy start flowing within you. What the heck is that? So I'm so sorry, guys. That was just a really weird noise that happened behind me, and I don't know what it was. Okay, I so apologize. I got very distracted right then. Right? Okay, that was really weird. It almost sounded like something was crawling across my floor. Okay, I'm so sorry, guys. I apologize. That really creeps me out a lot. I hope if you guys heard that, I don't know what that was. If you creeped me out, I'm really sorry. Um, so, fire gazing is super common amongst occult practices, pagans, witches. It's super common across a lot of places. Really what you do is you sit in front of any form of fire. It can be as small as a candle flame. It can be as big as a bonfire. It can be a fireplace. And what it is, like I said, it's meant to help you connect to your spiritual self. It's meant to, realign yourself. And it's used across many different practices. So the process, and it sounds really simple, but the intention really matters. You need to make sure that you're focusing your attention on the natural light of the fire and allow yourself to enter that altered state while you're looking at it. So don't break away from that concentration when it starts to feel uncomfortable, because it will, because we're humans and we don't like to just simply stare and look at something for a very long time. So if it starts to feel uncomfortable, like, you just got to dig in until like you feel that kind of go away. You can also be chanting mantras if you need to in order to get to this place. Some people do shamanic drumming. Some people have meditation music playing in the background. Unfortunately, I can't do that for you because, YouTube won't allow us to do that. So I can't play meditation music in the background for you, but you guys can certainly turn on for when we get going here if you'd like. Because I want you guys fully focused on the flame. I'm actually also going to have my camera off so that I'm not going to be a distraction on the screen moving at all for you, because I want you guys to be able to focus on a natural light. And then when it comes to the dreams and all of that, we're going to make sure that we're focusing on our dreams. We're going to make sure that our intentions are about our biggest dreams that we want to possibly accomplish next year. And nothing's too big. Like, that's what we're really going to be focusing on and bringing in. Before I call in the circle and have you guys get anything, any materials you need, because I always give you guys a couple minutes to do that. Does anybody have any questions before I call in the circle and we do that? And again, thank you so much, guys, for being with me tonight. I'm so happy that you are here and I can do this for you. Okay. I don't think I see any hands raised. I'll give a couple more seconds to type in the chat. I really want to know what that noise is. It's gonna drive me nuts. Don't even see. Okay. Fabulous. Okay, I don't see any questions or see that anybody has any questions. So if you don't have a candle already by you, if you don't, and if you use crystals, I would definitely just make sure you have one with you to be grounded. Use one that you like to have, make sure that you're grounded with, and that you connect to. Go grab your candles, make sure you have a utensil to write with, a paper to write with. I am going to make sure that I have everything set here. It should be set. I just have to light a couple things. I'll give you guys a couple minutes. Like I said, I'm gonna turn my camera off and then we will get going. I will call in the circle, I will call the moon down, and then you guys will start working on fire gazing, and then I'll start having shadow prompts come in for you guys to start thinking about your dreams. And then we'll start writing out those intentions for those dreams. So I will give you guys, like I said, a few minutes, go get what you need, and I will be right back. Okay, I think that should probably hopefully be enough time to make sure everybody has what they need. So what I will have you guys do is I will have you make sure that you light your candle now, before I start calling in the circle so the candle is lit. Before we call that energy in, and we have that there with us. And then I would like you guys to start getting into whatever you like to call it, whether it's a meditative state, sacred space, your sacred temple, your sacred container. That's a verbiage you'll hear me say for the rest of the time, because that's what I call it. But everybody has their own verbiage. So I would like you to start getting into that, whether, however you do that, dropping in, however you do that. Start taking some big deep breaths in and out. And in and out. And in. I call to the spirits and guides of each person in this circle. I ask for you to come closer and encircle us and surround us with your protection, your wisdom, and your guidance this evening as we gather to celebrate this new moon in Sagittarius. May this new moon and may all new moons never lose its magic for us. The gatekeepers of the four directions, thank you for turning your gaze towards us this evening. We honor you, we honor your sacred presence, and thank you for your guardianship. I call to the direction of east, the element of air, quicksilver, and invisible winds. I call to you, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. I call to you, air, and I invoke the movement of you in my life, and I invoke the exquisite flow of energy. Teach me, air, to move with absolute ease, both within and without, above and below, and to not be bound by my circumstances, my fears, and my failures. I honor my breath. I honor the life force within me, and I honor the life force within each and every soul in this circle this evening. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of air, I see you, I summon you, and you are holding the eastern gateway, and I thank you ever so kindly. I call to the direction of south, the element of fire, the candle flame, and wildfire. I call to you, Aries, Leo, and especially you, adventurous, playful, optimistic, passionate Sagittarius. I call to you, dear fire, to teach me to kindle my flame from within so that it burns bright and it burns long, and so it's not bound by convention or boundaries or rules. I ask you, dear fire, to burn all around me, and as your flame grows, I learn the power of fearless expansion and adventure and growth. I honor the fire within me. I honor the courage of your wild spirit and your endless passion. The guardians and gatekeepers of the element of fire, I see you, I summon you, and I thank you ever so much for holding the southern gateway tonight. I call to the direction of west and the element of water. You're a raging river and the deepest oceans. You're the rain that falls to the earth. I call to you, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. I call to you, dear water, to teach me, to teach us, to move with the tides, to swing gracefully against the tides when it's needed, to not be bound by a desire to seek land or shelter, but to be able to simply stay afloat and trust. I ask you, dear water, to allow me to see my entire being, to be able to surrender when I must, to know when I need to cry and release when needed, and to honor my deepest, deepest emotions. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of water, I see you, I summon you, and I thank you so very much for holding the Western Gateway tonight. I call to the direction of north, the element of earth. Your mother Gaia, you're the continents and the oceans moving in a silent, sacred dance. I call to you, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. I call to you, dear element earth, the trees, the wilderness, the animals, the creatures, the bones in the ground of my ancestors and of those that are going to come after me. I call to you, dear element of earth, to teach me to hold the expanse of my feelings and my word, and to work in this life through grace and depth, to not be bound by the fear of my own strength, and to be able to trust that I can hold it all, and that I have roots so deep and so far and so old, centuries old and miles long, that I can bury and ground and root myself into. I call to you, dear earth, to teach me and let us know that we are capable of holding more than we think, and that we can stand on our own 2 feet on the ground. Guardians and gatekeepers of the element of earth, I see you, I summon you, and I thank you so very much for holding the Northern Gateway tonight. I call to all ascended masters, ancestors, all other deities, entities, other interdimensional beings, guardians and gatekeepers of both above, below, and all around. And I thank you so very much for holding all of those gateways this evening. Aho, amen, so mote it is. So we have our circle cast, guys. So you can take a few deep breaths and really sit in that energy. In and out, in and out. And I'd like for you to start looking towards your flame now. I'd like for you to start making sure that you're connecting. Your gaze is being drawn to the dancing movement of that fire flame. If you need to wrap your hands around your candle to help you stay more focused on it, you surely can. Sometimes that physical touch will help you connect to that element as well. Take a few deep breaths in and out, and keep your gaze on the flame. Is it dancing to the left? Is it dancing to the right? How tall is it? How short is it? Is it playful? Is it bashful? Is it bright and bold and passionate? Take a deep breath in while the flame moves, and a deep breath out. A deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Focus on what the element of fire means to you. Is the element of fire all about passion? Is it all about energy of movement? Deep breath in, deep breath out. Your attention wanders from the flame. Just be kind to yourself and bring it back. Watch how it naturally moves. As it dances around. Feel yourself getting more and more connected to your spiritual self, and your physical body slowly moving away. You're disconnecting from your ego, and you're looking for your higher self and greeting them. If you ever feel disconnected or lost while trying to find your higher self, go back to that flame and watch it move. And remind yourself the passion that's attached to that flame. It's adventurous, dreamlike, Sagittarius energy you're trying to connect to. Deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, deep breath out. Now I'm going to give you guys about 2 minutes to sit with the flame by yourself. Continue to breathe. If you want to do any type of chanting mantra you'd like to use, you can do any type of sound humming you'd like to use if you need to. Now is the time where you can do that to further your connection to your higher self through the gaze in the fire. You may see images. You may notice the attitude change of the flame. Just pay attention to what you see happening in front of you. Deep breath in, deep breath out. I want you to take note of anything that you felt, anything that you saw, any messages that may have come through to you through your higher self, whether it was in the flame or you saw the energy or heard it. Take note and take stock of what you heard, what you saw, what you smelt, how you felt, and bring it into your energetic field to interpret and receive what the messages mean to you. Now take that energy, hold it, control it, remember what it feels like, and hang on to it as we call the moon in to feel this energy with you as well. Under the new dark moon tonight, and under the dark of the new moon, I allow myself and all those within this circle to be completely reborn. I allow for this energy to open up their intentions, to open up their dreams, to open up their goals and allow them to take root and to be seated. I call to you, dear Mother Moon, to help us believe in our being, to believe in our vision, and to believe in our worth. We call to you, dear Mother Moon, to help us set our focus now on our intentions, on the messages we have just received, on the dreams that have just been revealed to us, to help us focus our intentions on honoring our nurturing process, to help us to let go and allow the creative energy, the fiery, passionate, adventurous, optimistic, dream energy of Sagittarius and your moon to provide sustenance for this fruit to grow, to allow this fruit to grow, to allow this fruit to bear. We call to you, we ask you to help us to honor our magic, to honor our light, and to help us to guide us to that, even in our darkest of hours and our darkest of nights. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Now you guys can grab it, your pen, your writing utensil, and your paper. Still keep that flame center in front of you because I want you going back to that energy and coming back to that flame each time you write a new dream down. These intentions I want you to write aren't going to be like any other intentions we've ever written before or that we've set before. These are your biggest and wildest dreams that you possibly have for the next year to come from you. Listen to whatever that fire spoke to you. Listen to whatever that passion that was ignited to you within this candle flame that's in front of you. Connect to that energy. If you need to keep a hand on your one hand on the candle, go for it. That will definitely create that energetic cord. But what I'd like you guys to do is now for about the next 5 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes, I want you guys to write down your biggest, wildest dreams on that piece of paper for this next year. Each time you write one, go back and look at that flame, take a breath in and a breath out, and then write the next one. While you guys do this, I will be bringing some shadow prompts through for you guys to think while you're still in your energetic space, while we're still in this container, so that you guys can still be working on that, still be thinking about that, which your shadow work is for these dreams. So again, now start working on whatever your biggest and wildest dreams are. Focus on your intentions and that your intentions are something greater than you could ever think of to manifest. They're for your highest good for you and for anybody else that's concerned and a part of it. What are your biggest and wildest dreams to learn? What is the biggest and craziest and wildest skill, hobby, topic you love to learn about this next year? Do you want to learn a new language? Do you want to learn a new magic practice? Do you want to learn a new culture, a new religion, and anything? What is that biggest, wildest dream you could possibly think of learning? What's the biggest and wildest dream you could possibly plan on exploring to this year? Do you want to explore by climbing a mountain? Do you want to go visit an island? Do you want to climb to the top of the highest tower in your city? Do you want to go clear across the world? Do you want to dive into the ocean? Where is the biggest and wildest dream of place you could possibly think of to explore? What is the biggest and wildest and most adventurous dream, the most passionate thing that you want to discover about yourself, about your community, about your family and those around you? What is something that you just want to discover? What is the biggest and wildest dream that you can think of for the next year to grow in? What is the biggest possible area in your life that you could experience growth? Do you want an entire life remake? Or do you just want one area to be flipped around? Is your expansion for growth going to, the most intense, mental health therapy that you've ever been through? Is it going to, your growth, is it going on the biggest and wildest and the most successful, personal journey when it comes to body image and self-acceptance and confidence and intuition? What is the biggest and wildest dream for growth you can think of this year? What's the biggest and number one question you want to answer? Whether it's about yourself or the world we live in, the multiverse, a religion, somebody else? What are the biggest and wildest questions you can ask and have answered? What are the biggest and wildest dreams that you have to teach somebody else? Whether it's just teaching your own child something new, whether it's teaching a sibling, whether it's teaching a class like I started doing this year for myself, whether it's teaching others in your community, teaching your family, what is the biggest and wildest dream that you can have to teach others, to guide others, to help broaden others' horizon, to help others understand each other, to help you understand yourself, to understand the multiverse that we are in? What is your biggest and wildest dream surrounding that, surrounding those concepts and those things? Teaching and guiding and broadening horizons and understanding each other and finding meaning, whether it's in a relationship or in yourself or in a hobby or in a sport or in life itself. What is the biggest and wildest dream that you can think of for expansion and experience and soul awakening? And what is just the biggest dream in general that you can think of that you possibly could want? What is that dream life look like? Take the last minute that you can think of here to write down any dream that you can think of for your life that you want that ultimate dream life to look like by the end of next year. Take a few more breaths in and out while you finish up that list, while you finish up all those dreams being written to pen and paper. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. I'd like you to write the date on the bottom of this. And then after me, I'd like you to repeat, my intentions or something greater now manifest for my highest good and for the good of all concerned. My intentions or something greater now manifest for the highest good and for all of those concerned. You breath in and out. And now pull your gaze completely back to that flame. Deep breath in and out. Center back into concentration of your sacred space. Center back into the movement of the flame. Dancing to the left? Is it dancing to the right? How tall is it? What's its personality? Is it being shy? Is it being bashful? Is it being flirty? Is it being bold? Take in any last messages that may be coming to you visually through the flame, or whether you see, hear, smell, or taste anything. Whether you feel anything physically or emotionally or energetically. Take in the last remaining messages that are there for you. I call back the guardians and gatekeepers of the direction of east and the element of air. I thank you so very much for being here and holding the Eastern Gateway this evening. I call back the guardians and gatekeepers of the direction of south and the element of fire. I thank you so very much, especially Sagittarius, for being here with us this evening. I call to the direction, the guardians and gatekeepers of the direction of west and the element of water. I thank you so very much for being here and holding the Western Gateway this evening. I call to the direction of north and the element of earth. I thank you so very much, guardians and gatekeepers, for holding the Northern Gateway this evening. I call to all guardians and gatekeepers, ascended masters, interdimensional beings, all other entities, deities, ancestors, and any other entity, soul, or energy that was here with us this evening, that was holding all the gateways around, above, and below. And I thank you so very much for holding all of those. Thank you, all guardians and gatekeepers. I release you. Amen. Aho. So loved it is. Okay. Okay, hey everybody. So circle is cut. You guys can blow out your candle because you are done with it now, unless you guys want to keep working with it on your own. But you can certainly blow out your candle because we are done. That is all released. If anybody has any questions or if they have anything they want to say or comments, you can certainly go ahead. You can do that in the chat or you can take yourself off of mute. Otherwise, that was what I had for you guys tonight. I hope that if this is your first time working with a fire scrying and working with it that way, that you were able to connect to that. I hope it was something that you enjoyed. I hope it really, really helped you. And I really, really hope that you guys were able to really dream big and really set some big dream intentions tonight. So if you guys don't have anything, again, thank you so very much for being with me tonight. I really, really, really appreciate it so much. I know how sacred and honorable this is. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, I certainly can. I can certainly post those links again. That bottom one goes to our Facebook page. So that's the one that you can get into direct contact with us too. Fabulous. Okay, thank you so much for being here, you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a good evening. Wait, I need to stop the recording first.